Hello, everyone. Um, Today we are going to talk about another system design problem. Uh, let's get started. So the system design that we are going to tackle today is Google Doc or any other collaborative editing systems. So functional requirements. Clients can collaboratively edit a document. This is the most important feature that we want to support, right? Uh, Updates needs to be near real time and smooth. So this needs to be near real time. We should keep in mind so that the collaboration between users should be smooth. The long delays between um, receiving updates from other sides is going to make the system not very useful and it'll end up users being to be unhappy with our system. So for client satisfaction, this is a real requirement to have uh, basically updates like to be near real time, and it should be somehow like streaming. It should be in a stream manner. So all the changes from both sides, from all sides, needs to come in and a string of updates. Um, we need to keep update history. That's also a requirement. Then we should support adding comments to docs. So comments are also needs to be part of requirements. So non-functional requirements, low latency, as we said above, it should be near real time. Geolocationally distributed service near to clients. Um, we should have data and servers near to clients, so it will reduce the latency. Availability, and system should be highly available. Maybe it must be 4.9 available, like few hours per year. Downtime might be tolerable. The system should be fault tolerant so that um, we shouldn't have single point of failure. We should have replicas and all that. We'll talk deep about how to make system fault tolerant. And communication should be in a secure manner. Data should be encrypted, end-to-end encrypted, and then we must have the mechanism for sign up and then sign in, and authentication tokens to be passed to users in order to be able to interact with our system. Uh, and also we need to have mechanism for maybe rate limiting so that malicious user does not overwhelm our servers. So high level design. High level design, we didn't talk about scalability, but I think general scalability is, one of the requirements as well, given that our user base might increase like over time. However, one thing that we should consider is that might be the number of users might be a large number of users we might have, but the concurrent user are important. And in this type of system, collaborative editing, the number of active users might be not as big as some other systems, but general scalability, we consider it. And so high level design is this. Let's say two users, user A and user B, are communicating with our system. There is a load balancer for dynamic service discovery, for security, for rate limiting, for single entry point, and also for circuit breaking, hiding microservices, provide a layer of security. Then the most important microservices here are as follow. Authentication service is important. For this system, we'll have a relational database because here consistency is important, and it's not write heavy, but it is it's more like read heavy rather than write heavy, and so relational database should be enough for authenticating user, and this will provide a secure URL to users to connect to the document and start collaborating with other users. And that should be secure. It should send authentication token and provide authentication token to users so that other services receive that authentication token and verify it with authentication service, and then basically allow user to work with those services. We'll have comment service. Like as a separate microservice, comments can be stored in a key value store. And then we'll have sync service, which is the most important service. We'll talk about it here. Sync service receive a stream of, that's why I have these inbound, outbound queues here to illustrate the data is being streamed to this service. By data, I mean operational updates that each users are sending to a sync service when they are, let's say, typing or drawing, changing the document. Then this sync service receive the updates. It store them into like operational history, because we said that we want to support operational history. This database, it's the good option for this service can be like a time series DB, because we want to have the ability to receive this stream of data and like in timely manner, so that we might need to have reports based on that. Time series is one option, but we could go with a simple key value store. There's a trade-off between the two. If the use case is only to have the history and the real time, we don't need like kind of query based on the time range and real-time queries basically, then we might not need time series DBs, only operational key value store would be enough. Then sync service send these updates to another outbound queue. This outbound queue is per other users that are communicating with communicating with each other. We might one queue for each user. Then we will have not basically here this outbound operation queue is just decoupling. It's for the scale purpose, so that a bunch of web socket servers can read from this queue and in real-time manner, and in like send the updates back to users. Then from there, basically, users receive the inputs, updates, and then merge on client side. Merge can be also happen on sync service, and the block of data sent over to users, but that is not very performant from bandwidth point of view. If the bandwidth, network bandwidth is a concern, we should avoid using that. Instead of WebSocket servers here, we could also go with maybe like long polling instead of WebSocket. Then the users had to, in some intervals, call for updates, ask for updates until updates are ready. But I think here having WebSockets make more sense. It makes the interaction between user and the sync service and vice versa more smooth and in real time. Now we want to talk about time. Just a minute. Okay. So deep dive. We have three different approaches when it comes to how we wanna do this sync updates. One is operational transformation. Only operations are sent to a central server to be stored and passed to the other client, and they are applied to docs in client side. Okay. Operations are like, let's say like this, this document, then character T needs to be added to position 1. And not a stable method and send too many operations between client and server. But the merge will happen on client side instead of server side. This is called operational transformation. The other approach is differential synchronization. The differential synchronization updates are sent to a central server, and they are being merged and resolve conflict in server side, then send diffs to clients. Bandwidth usage is pretty high to send diffs. Okay, we talked about this. And the other method, which is actually the best between the other two, is CRDT, conflict free replicated data type, which provides a strong eventual consistency. It means that eventually, no matter in what order users are sending their updates, eventually all users will have the same document and the status of the system will be consistent eventually. And this is like a method that actually this collaborative many of these collaborative editing system they use. Behind the scene there they have like a JSON format data type which is conflict free. They gather the changes updates from every side from like user clients, and the JSON files are being sent to the other party, and eventually updates they have like um, uh, uh, they will be applied on top of each other, and eventually both systems both users will have um, same document, and that's a strong eventual consistency. Data loss is not acceptable, and it will not be happening. But for illustration, the very first method, which is operational transformation, we have like a diagram that is showing that. As you might see, we have two clients. They are sending their operations to server. Let's say in the doc we have the word the like AT, and then one is deleting position one. It means that the text on client one side will be T. The client two will be is inserting H into position 0, so it'll be on client two only. The document will be had. Then these operations will be sent from server to the other party. Let's say server one receive client one's operation and send it to client two, and also the other way will receive updates from client two and send it to client one. And then in client one client one and two, once they receive other parties operation, they will apply that operation on top of their own changes, and eventually it means that on client one side H will be inserted in position 0, on client two side positions 1 will be deleted, and final stat will be HT for both. So and we will store all these operation histories in this operational history table. And eventually we have also a notification service. A notification service at the high level will be notifying users that there has been updates, and they can receive or see updates if they are not online. Yeah, this is the design for like collaborative editing. Let's talk about the non-functional requirements. As we said, we want low latency. For low latency, what we should do, we should distribute services near to client over the globe so that the latency that users are experiencing, network latencies and all that, will be reduced. Other than that, we can use like the same real-time processing is providing the same experience. low latency. It's not like a batch. Updates are being sent to sync service and then like published to all other users collaborating on each other. So uh, it will be near real time, and the fact that we are using WebSockets, which will create between we are using WebSocket to communicate between sync service and the users. Um, uh, Also contribute to meeting low latency because WebSockets are creating bi-directional and persistent connection with users. So the overhead of handshake and making connections over and over again is reduced. So we can have like faster update and communication between users. Uh, so here we talked about protocol as well. We talked about the database and database selections for scaling data in this, especially for operational history that could scale. We can use, we can shard the database based on, we can go with alphabets or we can also uh, distribute them geographically based on where the user is located, and I think that's all. We can talk a little more about notification service and how we wanna decouple it from sync service, because that doesn't need to be like in real time. That can be like a batch processes that take care of notifications. And if let's say scale goes high, in order for notification service to handle the high scale, we can use async design for notification service so that the front service and a front service gets the messages put in a queue, and then a set of workers subscribe to notification to the queue to send notifications to clients. That's all I have for this problem, and I hope that was useful. Let me know if you have any questions, and thank you for your time, and see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.